It's an honor to be here. And Kevin, thank you for all of those awesome words. I will be honest with you guys, though. It was not always like that. Behind me is some pictures of life before real estate. It was something where I was living on Hilton Head Island, a jet ski tour guide. I was attending Clemson University, go Tigers, where we won 2 national championships, and I was very involved in Greek life. I was not on the path that most people would have thought I would be standing on this stage today. And I do have my parents in the crowd. Mom, Dad, do you guys think this was the path I was on? Do you have some, Yeah, I didn't think so either. But while I was at Clemson and down on Hilton Head, I was like, I should probably get something on my resume. So I stumbled into a real estate internship, and I got some experience, and it was a good start, but I was still focused on the party life. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not have the best GPA. My highest cumulative GPA, can anybody guess? 2.4. And that's highest cumulative. So I went from partying 5 days a week to selling $200 million in 5 years. What I did learn before I got into real estate with my fraternity life and the jet skis was how to create world-class experiences and how to make people tick. I knew I wanted to do something big. I knew I had it in me. What I had on my side before I jumped in, man, I was hungry, guys. I wanted it so bad. I didn't know what I wanted. I had some misdirection. I had some opportunities to go other places, obviously not from my GPA, but from some other things, and I jumped in anyway. I wanted success more than anything, and I was willing to do it. You ever see that Eric Thomas video where you want it more than you want success as bad as you want to breathe? That's kind of what I felt, and as I jumped in, I said, I'm gonna do it differently, I'm gonna bring the energy, I'm gonna shake it up, and I'm gonna see what happens. I committed 100% from the start. I said, I'm gonna give it my all. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in some way or some form, but I didn't know what it looked like. And what happened was I started hustling. I started treating people right. I worked extremely hard, and all of a sudden that momentum really started to roll. Momentum is a crazy thing, guys. You're always going in one direction. Momentum does not stop. You got to think, am I going in the right direction, or am I maybe going out too much, or am I focusing on the wrong things that are putting me in the wrong direction? So it's so important to focus on getting your momentum rolling in the right direction and keep it rolling in that direction. I got that momentum rolling. Before you knew it, I was honored as a 30 under 30 realtor by the National Association of Realtors, and it was just something that opened up so many doors, and it was a very special thing. As the sales started to roll, something really crazy happened. I felt stuck on this beautiful hamster wheel of production. Not bad, just without time freedom. And I asked myself what I really wanted. There's a good friend of ours, a coach of ours, Michael Alasso, he calls it your super objective, your ultimate why. Everybody is different, but what I've learned in the first 5.5 years of selling real estate is I don't want to sell real estate when I'm 80, 90 years old. Some people might want to do that. God bless you, that's just not me. But for me, the hamster wheel of production was something that not quite exactly what I was going for. So I asked myself, what is my so that? Why did I get into real estate? So that I can do what? For me, it's to do what I want, with who I want, where I want, when I want. And has anybody ever felt like, maybe you're not getting enough traction with sales because maybe you're not selling enough, or you're not building long-term wealth, or you're not experiencing time freedom? Anybody? A few people? Cool. Well, ultimately, I kind of came up with this so that I can do this. And it's important to ask your guys selves, why are we selling real estate? In the regards to what's the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Ask yourself and use that to fuel the passion to produce and sell real estate. Whatever your so that is, again, let it be the fire to fuel your production. And when it comes to sales, let's be honest, guys, or as realtors, that's where we make our money. The hamster wheel is when you sell a lot of real estate and you don't do anything with the money that gives you the time freedom or to get you to your so that. So where do you want to go? They said I only had 15 or 20 minutes today, which I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get everything in here? So if you like what I have to say and you want to learn a little bit more about selling more real estate and building long-term wealth to get your so that, at the end there'll be a QR code. So scan that and sign up for our Mastermind. So here I am today, and I'm here to go and help you guys go from low production or no production to high production. And to give you the mindset shift, once you start selling a lot, you take that money and you put it somewhere that makes that money work for you to create that so that life. But it all starts with production. Production is the fuel. So again, I'm going to give you guys some insights here on how I went from, partying 5 days a week to 200 million in sales. And without production, guys, you're not going to get to your so that life. So this is really where I want to hone in. Everything changed during COVID. This was about a year in. I'm not going to say timing wasn't great for me. Nobody knew what was going to happen, right? What happened with COVID? It shook the world up. If you didn't like who you were married to, you got divorced. If you didn't like where you lived, you moved. If you didn't like your job, you quit. And all of a sudden, people are working from home. What else happened during that time? Mass consumption of online media like we've never seen before. And that's something that still continues to this day. And what do people do before they make a big decision like buy a house? They consume massive amounts of online information. And that is why your online presence is more important than ever before. So, okay, jumping into some things that you guys can put into your business to help you start selling more immediately, and how I broke into an extremely high competitive market, saturated with agents doing it for 20, 30 years. And to be honest with you, they don't like me that much in the market because I beat them out every time in the deal. But the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is your and? And when I say and, I mean, what is your uniqueness that you bring to the table that is different and can separate yourself from the pack? For me, it's real estate and investment. I enjoy investing in properties, and I'll tell you guys why here in a little bit. My broker that I started out with, he had a rental management company. He was real estate and rentals. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it is applicable to your market. It could be real estate and land. It could be real estate and luxury. Whatever it is, guys, it is super important that you define that on the front end. Use some of Daniela's tips to come up with your brand identity and create your and. Once you have your and, guys, it's super important that you then take that and you put it on a website and you brand yourself as the expert. Because what are people doing? They are chewing for information online. Once you have it on the website, you generate Google ads for traffic, and all of a sudden, they're going to start chasing you. So what should be on this website, right? It should be something talking about your expertise, showing that you're an expert. There needs to be an IDX feed as well. And there needs to be some form of lead capture. Again, the goal with this, in my opinion, is you want to catch these people before they get to Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. They're on the internet. They're looking. I didn't know everybody in Hilton Head. I knew nobody. I didn't grow up there. So here's what an example of my page looks like. And it can be way simpler than this, right? Live the dream on Hilton Head Island, vacation in your investment. What type of buyer are you? Investment, combination, lifestyle. If you go to that investment page, I give you all my secret sauce. Don't hold back on your website or wherever you're putting your content, your value. You think, oh, another agent's going to steal it. No, you're the one with it in your head. They're going to have to come to you. Put as much value in there as you can. Put the time in to do this. I'm telling you guys, regardless of your market, brand your and, put it on your website, drive Google ads. But what happens after they land on the page? Let me show you a quick little script after you get a phone number. It's super simple, guys. I saw you registered on my website, and I wanted to reach out, introduce myself, and see how I can add value to your property search. And then shut up. They'll spill the beans. They already know you're the expert, and that script works for any lead follow-up. Super simple. Again, I saw you registered on my website. I wanted to reach out, introduce myself, and see how I can add value to your property search. Simple. The other thing that blows my mind is the amount of agents that do not have a CRM or a database. Guys, this is your business. If you don't have one, drop everything else you're doing and create a database, create a sphere. Guess what? That person I just talked to that is, maybe not quite ready to buy. They go in my database, and they're gonna get hit with drips until they're ready to buy or sell. Every person needs to go in the database. It is your business. You need to live by it. Something else, this is a post from Bigger Pockets. My and is investment. Bigger Pockets is a real estate forum for where investors go to share information. Guys, this post right here probably produced 250,000 in GCI, and I posted it 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm still getting phone calls on it. So my thing with you is, where are other people, your buyers, your target audience on the internet, searching and chewing for this information? Find those sites, put evergreen posts on there with your contact information showing your value. All right, next thing I want to talk about is revenue generating activities versus non-revenue generating activities and your premium time. Guys, premium time is when you're at your best. We only have 2-3 hours of it a day. You need to build your entire day around your premium time. For me, it's 9 to 12. What am I doing in my premium time? Revenue generating activities, not non-revenue generating activities. Let me show you exactly what the difference between rev gen versus non-rev gen as far as pay goes. I calculated mine. When I'm on the phone, I'm making $2,000 an hour. When I'm following up with stupid emails and I'm running to the post office, that's $20 an hour work. Ask yourself, when you're in the office, am I doing $20 an hour work, or am I doing $2,000 an hour work? And you need to be doing the $2,000 an hour work and delegate the 20-hour work. This is something, it's not easy, right? You want to be in the minutia, but at the end of the day, you've got to be focusing on the $2,000 hour work. Anybody guess what this stands for? Pick up the damn phone. Guys, it's not that crazy. I mean, my revenue generating activities, I'm on the phone in my premium time. I don't care where or who you're talking to, as long as they're a potential buyer and seller in your market at some point in the future. For sale by owners on Zillow, right? Lead follow-ups, calling expireds. It does not matter. Pick up the damn phone. And don't be afraid to invest in yourself and ask for help. If you're not going to invest in yourself, who is? If I never hired a coach, I wouldn't be standing on this stage right now, right? I didn't have any real estate experience. I was sink or swim, figure it out. And that's why I love EXP, is because we're all here to help each other. This is something that's a culture I've never felt before, and that's why I came over 5 months ago. I love this. Big fish, little pond, guys. You got to start learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Every time, like I was in college, I was in the fraternity, I was a big fish in the little pond. I got out, I started selling real estate in Hilton Head, I was a little fish again, I was uncomfortable. I grew into a big fish with my old broker. What'd I do? I got uncomfortable, I got out of that pond, and I found a new pond, and now I'm a small fish again. And I'm uncomfortable, and I'm growing. That's why I left my broker. That's why I had 6 deals pending at one time, and I went in and put another 6 together, not knowing how I was going to close them. I was uncomfortable. That's why I get excited when I'm picking up the phone to call a $6 million expired listing, because I'm uncomfortable. You got to get uncomfortable or you're not growing. All right, so I mentioned that I like to, put money into real estate, and to achieve your So That life, whatever you put that money into, it needs to be giving you time freedom. Here's a picture of a good friend of mine, Tad. So when I first sat down, when I started selling real estate, my broker is sitting with me, and my broker's selling $50-60 million a year. And he's like, Brandon, there's this guy in the office, his name's Tad. And Tad's out doing whatever he wants. He's racing cars, he's having fun. And he said, Brandon, Tad is worth so much more money than I am. I'm like, what? You're killing it. He said, I know. He said, you know what the difference is? 1984, we both started in the same year, my broker and Tad. Tad tried to buy as much real estate as he could. Robbie, my broker, tried to sell as much real estate as he could. And that really stuck with me. What Robbie had was not time freedom. Tad had time freedom. This is us racing cars. He'd much rather be there than in the office. And he can be, because he bought real estate. Again, it's what you do with the money you make from selling real estate that's going to get you off that hamster wheel. And from my unique lens, it's buying real estate. It could be buying businesses. It could be buying stocks, whatever it is. You got to get your time back. Few things quick of how I've built a portfolio of $14 million, everything from 6-bedroom oceanfront beach houses to commercial conversion projects I've done with my family. Guys, it's all about the buy, right? You got to make your money on the buy. You got to create the value after you buy, right? Do a renovation, get the equity up. Then you leverage that equity. and then you acquire more property. It's all about scale. All right, this is kind of a bonus tip, guys. This is something that I didn't realize for a while. It's cost segregation and accelerated depreciation. Guys, we are the only people in the entire world as real estate professionals that can take advantage of the Section 179 tax code and utilize accelerated depreciation. I've been 7-figure GCI the last 2 years, and I've had tax refunds both years. And when I go back to the bank to buy more real estate, they add this depreciation back to my income, therefore I'm still a strong borrower. If your tax accountant does not know what cost segregation and accelerated depreciation is, it's time to fire them. Seriously, it's a game changer. I love this quote. The one common denominator of all successful people is their hunger to push through their fears, right? Get uncomfortable. Stay hungry. I don't know what your so that is, but it's yours. Let it be yours. Again, if you want to sell real estate for forever, whatever your so that is, you need to use it as fuel for the fire to start selling real estate and get your production up. Being a top producer, yes, is a piece of that puzzle. But again, from my point of view, it's taking those wins and investing it. Make the money work for us. Multiply it to achieve the life that you want to live. Guys, it's in you. I look at this group right now. You guys are all hungry. I can see the hunger. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Take that hunger, guys, and use it. And all of us together can achieve our so that life. Thank you, and here's the QR code for my mastermind.